What is going on, ladies and gents? Randy here with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you an absolutely beautiful Dynamite video. Today we are playing the Lord of the Rings Rise to War, and in this video we are doing a deep dive of this Sunind versus Galadriel report. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm really looking forward to dissecting this. We're going to talk about both builds in detail. Get excited, like and sub. Love you long time, yes! And shout out, by the way, to Taco with the Krakens. Love you long time, Taco. Here we go. All right, so let's start with the Sunind build, folks. Let me move my face over here out of the way. It is a big head. So Sunind is rocking a full plus 12 ranged damage, okay, from these four items here. We have Madness on the helmet, and then one of the most important abilities for Sunind, do not forget to use Pursuit. Since she does a huge amount of damage in the first 3 rounds, you definitely want Pursuit. Therefore, Wizard's Firework attack range with Pursuit is going to be best in slot. All right. For the build itself, what we have is a fantastic bottom R0 Heraldric Tactics tree maxed out. This is going to give you plus 30% damage to your orcs for each evil men unit with plus 1 attack to orcs. Then we have Feint. Feint will be triggering every 1 to 1.5 rounds depending on where you are in the fight, giving your units plus 35% bonus damage. Really, really powerful there. And then we have Inspiration. Inspiration is super duper strong. Was introduced for Sunind as one of her main skills, and it based on focus. This 293 focus here will generate somewhere around 42 to 45% bonus damage from Inspiration for the first 3 rounds. Really, really powerful. So keep that in mind. This is based on focus, okay? So this is going to be really, really strong. Do not be afraid to run a little bit of focus on your commander, like with the Wizard's Firework. It's not a bad thing, okay? Next, one of the main damage dealers for this build is going to be the Poison Panther, okay? This is going to be really powerful for a number of reasons. One, Poison Panther can trigger twice each round with Morgul Arbalest because Morgul Arbalest do get a double strike. Okay, I believe previously the Poison Panther could trigger off Morgul Arbalest's Cunning, but I believe that has been changed. I don't think it can trigger off Cunning any longer, but you still, because they have a double strike here every round, have 2 chances at 30% chance each to trigger Poison Panther each round off your Arbalest, okay? Then you have Great Bash here. Great Bash is going to vastly contribute to triggering Feint in the later rounds of the fight. Rounds 4 and 5, you'll be triggering Feint, very consistently, okay? Sunland Taxus is going to be a little bit of damage output there. It's going to be great. It's going to be a little bit of healing output there. It's going to be great. 25% chance every round to heal 18%. Not a huge amount. Every little bit helps, right? Then we have 1 point in reserves. This is going to trigger a little bit of healing for the first 5 instances. So basically like 42.5% healing output over 5 damage receipts. Quicksand is going to be here for the stun, and that is the build for Sunind. Unit-wise, we're running Morgul Arbalest here. Like I said, plus 12 attack from the equipment, plus 1 from the skills. Okay, we've got some pirates mixed in. I don't really understand the pirates selection, Taco. I would say halberdiers might be a little bit better because they're highly resistant to cavalry damage. I would switch these pirates out for either halberdiers or dragoons because they're both resistant to certain types of damage. Up to you. And then the Great Beasts are key to this build. Not only will they give you bonus damage from the Wild Yell, but they will taunt all the enemies for the duration of their life, okay? Into the Galadriel build, ladies and gentlemen. Get excited for this one. This is a pretty standard build. This is going to be Guard of the Tower, highly tanky units to begin with. She is going to give them plus 5 health and plus 39 defense from her equipments. But mainly Galadriel's whole point of being alive on this earth is to have a high amount of focus and deal a lot of focus damage and healing, which she does with her gear. So here we have plus 15% focus damage from amplification on the Noldor sword. A little bit of attack, but who cares? Plate of the Citadel, focus, defense, defensive capabilities round 6 onwards. So if you make it to round 6 with Galadriel, you will be dramatically more tanky, okay? Then we have Tranquility, which will trigger in rounds 1, 3, right? whatever, every third round. It'll be triggering. Very, very powerful there. And this is going to be dispelling something and giving a little bit of healing. But one of the best things is it gives HP and defense and focus, which Galadriel likes. Lastly, we have the Fine Smoking Pipe. This is going to be huge focus, nice army HP. And then the Heroism ability is definitely going to be amazing for Galadriel. This plus the weapon is going to give her plus 21% increased focus damage dealt, which is fantastic. All right. Next, we have the Mistress of Magic, which is going to increase focus damage by 40%, plus cause focus damage on attack. We have 1 point in Focus Wrath to trigger Madness. There is White Council here. I don't know why. It only is 14 out of 15 points. You're missing an entire other trigger from White Council. So I know he's only level 41. Maybe he'll change that. I would definitely max out White Council. You know, just dramatic damage mitigation for the first couple rounds. I would probably max out White Council and take 1 point out of High Alert and then just backfill it when you level up to 42. I'm just nitpicking at this point, okay? High Alert, good defense. Ninja's Guardian, good focus. And then Ring of Water, great healing, okay? So, how did this actually play out? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It looks like Galadriel did almost nothing. It looks like there was almost no damage output from Galadriel in this whole fight. And my guess is Sunind probably killed her in the first 3 rounds. Okay? That's what it looks like to me. You be the judge. All right? So Galadriel's focus bonus just by itself just massively reduces the damage the guards take. It's crazy. So crazy. There's inspiration based on that 293 focus from Sunind, triggering 44.3% damage right there. Very, very nice. Okay. Quicksand here for the stun. So the one thing about this build is Poison Panther damage output will be slightly negated by the fact that she is running High Alert and High Defense. So the High Defense will dramatically reduce the Morgul Arbalest damage for physical. And then the High Alert will dramatically reduce Morgul Arbalest damage from Poison Panther and from their Cunning trigger for poison. Okay? So this build does significantly reduce the Arbalest damage. Alright. So into round 1, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I'm just taking a look at what we got here. We got Tranquility. Galadriel's Tranquility is going ahead and healing the 2.8% damage received. So the guards will now take 2.8 less damage. Okay, then we have the Arbalest coming in hot and heavy here, punching for 18k. They do trigger Poison Panther, ladies and gentlemen, and hit for another 18k. This is the total of almost 37,000 damage in round 1 from the Morgul Arbalest. Ladies and gentlemen, how about that? How about that? Then we have another auto attack. Then we have Cunning. Okay, now we're at 40. Now let's just call it 41,000. Now we have another, oh my goodness, another auto attack, another Poison Panther, and another Cunning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, we are up at about 76,000 damage from the Morgul Arbalest here in round 1. 76,000 damage. I just want you to say that out loud. Here in round 2, the Morgul Arbalest will receive the Wild Yell bonus from the Great Beasts for their first attack. Okay? Alright, Sunland Tactics did not affect the pirates. Very good. Poison Panther did not affect the pirates. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, here we go. Okay, here comes the Arbalest, ladies and gentlemen. They did get a dual blow. They did get an auto attack here, which had bonus damage from Wild Yell with damage mitigation from shielding. Okay, and then we did trigger another Poison Panther, ladies and gentlemen. We're up to 40,000 damage output from the first strike. Here in the second strike, we did not trigger it, so we're rocking about 62,000 damage for this second round. So what do we say? 75k in the first, and what, 62 in the next? Let's see, 75 plus 62, because I can't do math. 137,000 damage, guys, in the first 2 rounds from the Morgul Arbalest. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Then we have the wonderful heal, just Galadriel, just dropping crazy heals from Ring of Water. This heal is so disgusting. It is. What do you want me to say? It's so disgusting here in round 3 with that healing. She comes in with a little bit of damage on the Great Beasts. The Arbalests, they don't care. They're going to come back. They're going to come back and trigger another auto attack with another Poison Panther hit for 37k. Then we have another strike from Cunning. We're up at 40k. Then we have 20k more, so 60k. Another 60k in round 2, guys. The damage output, round 3, the damage output is crazy. There's only 2,200 Guard of the Towers left. Okay? Only 2,200. I'm just reading this out loud. So the Morgul Arbalests will now have their damage dropped, right? They will no longer receive crazy damage from Inspiration in round 4, but they're still putting out pretty decent damage, right? They are still putting out pretty solid damage here in round 4. Tranquility, the bleed was cured. Okay. What do you want me to say? They're just dominating. Poison Panther keeps triggering. He's got some good RNG in this fight. Okay, I have to admit. He's probably triggered an extra 2 Poison Panthers above what statistically he should have triggered. So good RNG on Taco's Arbalests. Here's Feint. When Feint triggers, is this the first Feint trigger? That cannot be the first Feint trigger. Is that the first Feint trigger that I've noticed? We have Wild Yell, and we have Feint. This might be the first Feint trigger. I can't tell. I thought we triggered it before. Maybe not. So, the Arbalests will come in here with Wild Yell and Feint. Now they're going to deal crazy damage again, but it is going to fade. It's not going to flow down into the Poison Panther ability, unfortunately. It's crazy how much higher the damage is, though. Look at this. Check this out. Plus 49% damage here, 16.6. Then we have it fall off. We probably have a low damage range hit, and we only trigger for 8k. And that's the fight, guys. What else do you want me to say? They did make it into round 6. They did make it into round 6, but it was to no avail because the Arbalests came in and murdered them all. Okay? So, that's the fight, folks. I can't believe Galadriel did so little damage. That's interesting in itself, that Galadriel did so little damage over 6 rounds with this high of damage. Is this... I don't know. Is this a bad Galadriel build? Let's just look at this. I don't use Galadriel very often. So this, she only really has just auto attack. She only really has 1 damage ability from Focus Wrath, and it only has 1 point in it. Is it just the auto attack? Is that all she does? Is this just a bad Galadriel? Someone tell me, is this a good Galadriel? I don't even know. I'd never used I'd never even looked at Galadriel's skills, really, other than... I never, just briefly, but like... What's her auto attack? Is this just a bad... It's terrible. What is this? Oh my goodness. Let's look at Galadriel. I just have to know. Can she be better than this? Because, do I even have Galadriel? I do. She's respect 1. I feel like we're missing something. I feel like we should have seen more damage. Surge. Where's Surge? Where's her damage? I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated with what's happening here. You have all this focus, but no damage. And no magical barrier. Alright, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I believe Galadriel, with that type of focus damage bonuses, she should probably have Surge maxed out. She should probably have Focus Wrath maxed out, and then she should probably have at least a couple points in Magical Barrier. So, do I like the fact that there's 14 points in White Council and 7 points in High Alert? I absolutely do not like that. I think you need to reprioritize the skills here and get to a point where, I mean, why even max out Nenya's Guardian if you're not going to have things that are affected by the focus, right? Why even do it? We need to listen, my friend. I don't run Galadriel ever, but I think KS Slayer, I think you need to reprioritize your skills and put some more damage on the table, because you live for 6 rounds. You fought against a target that isn't running High Alert, isn't running anti-focus of any sort. Therefore, you should have put out, you know, some decent damage over 6 rounds as Galadriel. So I'm going to go off and say that this is going to be a failure of a build. This is not a strong build for this. I don't know if you're just fighting against, you know, alchemist builds, and you're just so upset about the alchemists and the damage you've been taking that you're going to maximize High Alert early and forsake all of your damage. I just don't like the build. I'm sorry. You got to get some damage on the table. You've got to put some damage on the table. The best defense is a good offense. Okay? So you've got to get some damage on the table. You've got to take some points. You've got to move some points around, put some damage on the table. That's all I can say. Okay? So, room for improvement on Galadriel. I don't understand the build. It's like a purely heal tank whale build. It's just blowing my mind. Needs some more damage. Okay? Because Sunind was putting out damage and Galadriel's hitting for 3,800 focus damage every round, auto attack. Not going to cut it. Okay? So, that is a deep dive analysis, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Give me that like and sub. We're doing a lot of PvP here today. We've finally pushed KSEL back across the crossing here. We almost took a few of their, well, we demolished half of their forts, as you can see. And we almost took a few of their other main key points here, like the this ruins, and then a couple other strong tiles that we almost took, but we didn't quite make it. We had to take a step back, and they are rebuilding forts. So, all right, that's the video. Love you a long time. Randy out.